Here we are. Good morning. Hello, my gold and silver friends in the forum. Listen, this is PK with Out of the Box. I decided to make this video especially for you guys because I read quite a few comments this morning about the name of the show is Why Isn't the Gold and Silver Going Up During This Afghanistan Crisis? I've seen quite a few people make some comment about this. Of course, I'm going to give you my take, PK's take. Don't forget, 35 years, I'm 62. I've seen a lot of crisis over my days. Wars, the war in Iraq, you name it. Problems with the crude oil production with OPEC. And I remember, I started in gold and silver, and believe me, over the time, I saw the gold. When we'd have news like this, a lot of you are asking the right question, right? The gold in the old days, right, before the crypto came into play, you'd see gold go up $50, $100. I'd crack, boom, 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 on news like with this Afghanistan news. So, look, so the bottom line is, you have to ask yourself, why? Why isn't it happening? You're asking that question. I'm going to tell you the reason. My opinion, which is, number one, you all have to admit this crypto space, this Bitcoin and all these different coins, Dogecoin, all the different ones. This taking they're taking a lot of, I believe, a lot of the buyers, the punch out of the traditional gold and silver buyer. In the past, they all would go to, they would run to the metals in terms of a crisis. And you see, okay, the gold's up, maybe up $30 the last couple of days due to the news, but this is nothing. It should be up 50, 75, 100 a crack. I mean, this should, excuse me, there should be some panic buying, but there's not. I think gold, it's around $17.94 in the August contract. The silver is around close to $24 in the September futures contract. Maybe it's been up about 50 cents the last couple of days from all this news. But again, this should be rocketing higher. And I feel they're running to the Bitcoin. Take a look at the Bitcoin chart. Whether you want to believe it or not, whether it's for the long term, it doesn't matter. We deal with the reality of right now. And right now, that Bitcoin, where are we at the Bitcoin now? $46,700. This is where the people are the big guys are putting their money. They believe in this. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's a different story. But the fact is, we got to deal with the reality. And that question is, why isn't that gold and silver going up? I'm telling you, I agree with you. It should be going up. And this, to me, is very telling that it's not going up. I don't call up today $7. I think the gold's up and silver 10 cents. It's nothing. In fact, look, I think this is not not the best sign. Now listen, what I want to tell you, so pretty much my notes, let me just give you my forecast, real quickly. Number one, for you stackers, I think you know how I feel. Look, it doesn't matter. Who cares if silver's at 29 or 24, goes to 20? You think it's going to 100, 200, so it's a buying opportunity for you guys. You're going to pay outrageous spreads. We all know the spread's getting wider and wider and wider, and you have the reasons why. I'm not going to go into that and argue about that. Who knows why? So that's not the issue. The point is, if you're a stacker and you want to load up on the gold and silver, I know a lot of you are, fine, go ahead and do it. It doesn't matter, this thing. But the point of my video here for you guys is that I'm agreeing with a lot of the comments, is that gold and silver should be going up. And I mean way up. It used to, in the days that I used to be before the crypto, probably 20 years ago, we'd see, when you saw a crisis, this gold and silver took off, and it's not going up. I don't call this a move at all, actually. In fact, if you've been following me in some of my videos, to me, gold and silver is in a downtrend. So, well, of course, for you stackers, this means nothing because you think it's going much higher. Fine, we'll stick with that. So forget about you guys. But what about the second group of you out there, which is, let me tell you, this has been around since I started. Everyone makes it sound, I listen to the other sites, a lot of these gold and silver sites, not your site, but, they talk about the metals, and you should have 10% of at least 10% of your portfolio, your long-term portfolio in the metals. There's nothing new here, you guys. This has been going on since day one. This has always been solid investment advice. So for all of you who are in the gold and silver, for diversification for the long run, you want to have some storage, some value, some storage, some hedge, whether the dollar's going to crash or all these things, this is okay. There's nothing new, and I'm all for that. I think this is a great strategy. It's but the difference is, I feel you should, if you're one of those people that think everything's not going to collapse in the next 2 years, which, by the way, you've got to put a time frame on this thing with you stackers. You just can't say it's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Well, meanwhile, the time goes on, and you're losing out because you're preparing for a disaster, which is okay, but yet there's a point. Look, as I mentioned before, they've made this argument. In fact, it's a very valid argument. I'm not even denying it's a good argument. They made this argument, for some of you remember, during the financial crisis in 08-09, they made the exact same argument. They're putting the presses, they're bailing everyone out, the dollar's going to crash, the stock market going to crash. In fact, the dollar did get weaker, and the stock market did come off 50%. Not quickly, over 2 years, but you saw what happened. Like Warren Buffett says, it recovered. Whether it's all blank because of the support, it doesn't matter. The fact is it came back up. We got to deal with the reality. So now we're up here. So again, if you're one of these people who are using the gold and silver diversification, which I'm all for, you should be in the GLD, the SLV. You're not worried the New York Stock Exchange is going to blow out in 2 years, or COMEX is going to be history. Last two things I'll say. How many times have we heard this year about the catalyst for gold and silver? Remember, first was in May. I think I mentioned this before. I'll say it again. There's not enough silver in the warehouse. They've got way too many contracts. They can't fill. They're not going to be able to make delivery. And this is going to be the catalyst that's going to shoot that silver up. Did it happen? No. And you can say, this. They're holding the price down. You're saying all this after the fact, because if you had listened, everybody out there on the YouTube was saying this is going to be the thing. I can only tell you, the only thing I saw that moved that silver up, silver. We was that Reddit group, that Wall Street Bets, remember? They removed that silver up $3. Now this to me is a real move. But did it hold up there? No, it went up, they sold it and came down. This was no Hunt Brothers squeeze. That was something of the real deal, the Hunt Brothers. When I was a teenager, late teens, I watched this thing. I had a friend in the gold and silver, in the bullion business in LA. So I did watch it, I saw what happened. And that's not what happened. And again, now let's talk about the other big event for this year, for 2021, which this was supposed to be the big catalyst for the gold. And which was, you guys know what it is? Was it Basel III they called it? This thing about they're going to reclassify as a Tier 1 asset. Look, I'm not saying it's not a valid argument, but the fact is gold went down. So, as you see, one argument after another of the reason, and now Afghanistan falling apart. We see what's happening in the news, but is the reality, is gold and silver moving? No. So what I want to tell you is, hey, look, for all you in Group 2 who are using the gold and silver for diversification, look, we're going to have a great buying opportunity. Look at it. Look at the positive of this. I think we're a couple of weeks away, and it's going to be a good buy, for the long term. I really believe it. For me, it's just a trade. which I know most of you who want to use it for a hedge against inflation, or the dollar, or the crisis, or the virus, who knows what the hell it may be, any of these reasons, or the reset, or World Economic Forum. Look, PK's heard all the arguments. I know them all, believe me. And it's a good, there's nothing wrong with this. So anyway, I think I've gone off enough. As you see, I rambled on, but I really wanted to make this video exactly for you guys in the gold and silver form. I like you guys. You've been very kind to me, listening to me. Whether I hope you respect me. Whether you agree or disagree, it's not about that. I'm just trying to give an alternative point of view from someone who's been in around for over 35 years. And there's very few of me out there who really been in the game. Anyway, so let's see what happens. It really is a disaster there in Afghanistan. I see it's making the news. And look, but follow the price, this will tell you. And don't tell me, I don't hear anybody commenting saying, you see PK? They're holding it down. They're holding that gold and silver down purposely. So do not believe me, this is not true. This is some argument I will never believe this is being done. Yes, is gold and silver manipulated? Of course it can be manipulated. But for me, not in the big picture, right? Anyway, so wish everyone to make some money. Let's see what happens this week. Look, I think it's a sell up here. Maybe I'll be wrong. I do an update every weekend on my show on the market update. So we'll see what happens. But to me, it's a sell right here at these numbers. So we'll see if I'm right or wrong. But it really doesn't really matter, because for me, it's just another trade. If I'm wrong, I lose, go to the next one. Anyway, 12 minutes. I went too far as usual. PK with out of the box. So long, you guys. Hope you have a great day. Ciao, everyone.